Hi students, have a nice day. We are going to learn 10th standard science. The topic name is Laws of Motion. Part 1. Before we enter into the topic, we must learn objectives. First, we need to understand the concept of force and motion. In the previous classes, you have learned about various types of motion such as linear motion, circular motion, oscillatory motion and so on. In this lesson, let us investigate the cause of motion. Next, let us see about force and motion. According to Aristotle, a Greek philosopher and scientist, the natural state of earthly bodies is rest. He stated that a moving body naturally comes to rest without any external influence of the force. Such motion are termed as natural motion. That means force is independent. He also proposed that a force, push or pull, is needed to make the bodies to move from their natural state and behave contrary to their own natural state, called as violent motion. That means force dependent. Next, we move to inertia. What is meant by inertia? The inherent property of a body to resist any change in its state of rest or the state of uniform motion, unless it is influenced upon by an external unbalanced force, is known as inertia. For example, take a glass tumbler and place a small cardboard on it as shown in the figure. Now, keep a ball at the center of the cardboard. Then, flick the cardboard quickly. What do you observe? The cardboard falls off the ground and the ball falls into the tumbler. Next, let us see about the types of inertia. There are 3 types of inertia. First one, inertia of rest. Next, inertia of motion. And third one is inertia of direction. The resistance of a body to change its state of rest is called inertia of rest. And the resistance of a body to change its state of motion is called inertia of motion. And last one, the resistance of a body to change its direction of motion is called inertia of direction. Next, we move to examples of inertia. First, an athlete runs some distance before jumping because this will help him jump longer and higher. That is called inertia of motion. Next one, when you make a sharp turn while driving a car, you tend to lean sideways. That is called inertia of direction. And last one, when you vigorously shake the branches of a tree, some of the leaves and fruits are detached and they fall down. That is called inertia of rest. Next, let us see about linear momentum. The definition of linear momentum is the product of mass and velocity of a moving body gives the magnitude of linear momentum. It is a vector quantity. P is equal to mv. That means linear momentum is equal to mass into velocity. It helps to measure the magnitude of force. Its SI unit is kilogram meter second power minus 1. Next topic is Newton's first law. This law states that every body continues to be in its state of rest or the state of uniform motion along a straight line unless it is acted upon by some external force. That is called Newton's first law. Next, let us see about types of force. First, what is meant by force? Already we know that the definition of force. Force is an external effort in the form of push or pull. Force has both magnitude and directions. It is a vector quantity. Next, types of force. There are 2 types of force. First one, like parallel force, and another one, unlike parallel force. What is meant by like parallel force? 2 or more forces of equal or unequal magnitude acting along the same direction parallel to each other, that is called like parallel force. Unlike parallel force means if two or more equal forces or unequal forces act along opposite directions parallel to each other, that is called unlike parallel force. Next, we move to resultant force. When several forces act simultaneously on the same body, then the combined effect of the multiple forces can be represented by a single force, which is termed as resultant force. It is equal to the vector sum of all the forces. If the resultant force of all the forces acting on a body is equal to 0, then the body will be in equilibrium. Such forces are called balanced forces. Next, if the resultant force is not equal to 0, then it causes the motion of the body due to unbalanced forces. Next topic is rotating effect of force. Have you observed the position of the handle in a door? It is always placed at the edge of the door and not at some other place. Why? The door can be easily opened or closed when you apply the force at a point far away from the fixed edge. In this case, the effect of the force you apply is to turn the door about the fixed edge. This turning effect of the applied force is more when the distance between the fixed edge and the point of the application of force is more. For the next video, we will learn about moment of the force in part 2. Thank you.